How's it going? I know it's been a little minute since I've actually posted a video here, but I was like, you know what, let me just go ahead and do one. Just since, it's vlog for future me, so why not, right? So, with that being said, let me make sure I don't have nothing going on with my nose. A little dry, but so lately, it's just been a lot going on in America, and I feel like so much is fueled by fear of lockdowns, fear of, just, the C word. I'm gonna try to keep certain words as code words so that hopefully this video doesn't get taken down, because there's like so much censorship. That's another reason why I had to put it on this channel, to avoid any problems with my other two channels that actually are monetized. Honestly, I don't care about money getting with this video. It's more so for something for myself. And shout out to everybody who has followed me on this channel. I have seen people have been following me. I've also seen that people have been commenting, especially on my Black Irish video. So shout out to you guys for that. I definitely appreciate it. And it's pretty cool to see that it's still gaining traction after all these years. So with that being said, just as far as politics, I never was really into politics until I would say last year when everything happened. It just really got me looking to see. Initially, I was looking at the stimulus stuff, but then after that, it was more so I started really learning about the Republicans, Democrats, bipartisanship, the House of Legislature, the Senate, and the House, Senate and the House, and just different bills that were like sneaking in there and different things like that. So it just kind of intrigued me just to know how kind of like ignorant I was to so many things that was happening right under my nose, and I didn't even really know that all these things was really happening. Let me do this angle because I know y'all see like my nose hairs and stuff, and that's weird. So anyway, so when I noticed all these things, it just kind of made me want to know more, made me want to look into it more, and just kind of really find out like what was going on with everything. So this year I really got even more empowered because I really started thinking about like the like who, especially, all right, so when the president became the president, I was actually pretty excited because I was led to believe that because I was an African American person, I was supposed to be going for this particular party, and I was supposed to be proud of this party because they were going to do so much for me and things like that. To be honest with you guys, I never really was like, oh yeah, I'm a Democrat, this and that. Like I've always said, I was more so a liberal type of person, or I was more so an independent type of person. Like I like to go by my own rules, and even more now that I see what's going on, I can say I'm completely 100% like independent. I'll go with what makes sense, and that's just it. I initially thought that his rules made sense until now that I'm seeing so many things falling. It's like, and a lot of broken promises, as well as a lot of things that more so seem like a dictatorship, or yeah, I would say like a dictatorship type of situation. It's just kind of like, what the hell? You know what I mean? Like, what is going on, and why is it that he switched up so much? Like, like initially he had, like, to me, I thought his voice was like so sweet. He would do these little whispers and stuff. I thought it was cool, but now it's like every time I hear it, it like irks the shit out of me. And I'm like, it's just crazy because it's like, I think my last straw really was the day that he said, my patience is wearing thin. And I've never even had like my parents talk to me crazy like that, because some of you might know my situation as far as like coming up, some of you don't, but I just never had to really deal with stuff like that for the most part. I mean, so for you to come talking to people like that, talking to people that might be going through rough situations, people that might have some types of, I've seen people that have adverse effects. I've seen people that currently have issues that it might not be the best for them. There are people, at this point, he's making it so if you don't take it, you pretty much should be homeless. Like, we don't need you in society. You're a second class citizen. And I don't know, to me, I like for things to make sense. And I know certain people have their arguments, because I've seen pretty much every single argument that's pro the, what. But I don't know, like, at the end of the day, I feel like people should be entitled, like the HPV shot, the flu shot. You've always been able to take these things at your own accord, or if you feel like it's something that you want to do. So many people that I've known have had the flu shot, and then shortly after they get the flu, you know what I'm saying? Like, so how, you still had to go through it at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I just feel like it's just so much going on. And now he just said that he purchased a whole bunch of these things for all the kids 5 to 11. So you already know, even though it hasn't been FDA approved, it's like, I already know it's going to go through, because it's not like he got the inside scoop. They already told him, like, no matter what, we pushing that through. Don't worry, we got you. So it's like, he's like, I told the pediatricians to get prepared, so it's like, and they have the little kids, they have really the lowest chance of having a bad type of situation. Yes, some kids have died for whatever reason, but it hasn't, if you look at the stats, which I have definitely looked at the stats before coming on here talking bullshit, you know what I'm saying, like, it's actually shows that their percentage is actually small. And I actually worked in a school, so I know that kids do get it, and they've had to close down the school, especially last year. Like, it was crazy. Like, every freaking other week, it was like the school was closing down. So I know firsthand, especially when the media wasn't talking about it, it was happening. They just wasn't talking about it. But now that there's shots coming out, now you're seeing all the stories. Now they're starting to talk. So you really got to be careful with the media. You really have to be careful what you listen to, because a lot of it is propaganda. A lot of it is just pushing the agenda. A lot of them are Democratic. Like, networks or whatever. So they're going to push what their leader is telling them to push. And once again, like, I feel like this kind of pushed me into the path of knowing that I'm independent. Like, I'm not going to claim Republican, but I do like a lot of the things that they do say. And I do kind of relate to some of the things that they do say. There are a few things with Democrats that I can understand and I can relate to, but at the end of the day, I'm my own person. I don't need, and maybe that's why Yang said that he was creating his own independent type of party, which hopefully, it becomes a success, because it might be for people like me that are just kind of like in the middle and just not going to say I'm this or I'm that. Like, F that. I don't need a party to represent me. I don't need none of that. And I feel like at this point in time, the Democrats, and I've seen this before, they feel like they're your daddy. Like, they feel like they know the way and they have to guide you, which is why he's making these mandates. I watched Jen Psaki every single day that she comes on, and she said several times that she was going to do the carrot and stick approach. And that's when you hear them saying that we're going to do this mandates for companies with 100 or more employees. So they know exactly what they were doing. This was all led up to this. And a lot of the things that they've said, because like I said, I've been watching every single one, has been bold-faced lies. Like, they've told us things, but then it switched or it changed. I would never do mandates. I would never do this. Initially, when Trump came out with the vaccine, Project Warp Speed, it was like, oh, we would never take that under the current regime, or under the current under the current administration. But now that it's switched over, oh, everybody needs to take it. It's the same fucking vaccine that it was before. Like, there's literally nothing different about it. So, like, I just don't get it. Here I am, I'm saying the words, but, I started off good, but now I just don't give a shit. If they want to censor this video, then whatever. But, that's just how I feel about it. I just feel like it's just... I remember I read where they said that the Democrats were actually one of the people that was the biggest supporters of segregation, as well as, the biggest supporters of Jim Crow and segregation. Although they will probably not speak on this, and, they're trying to change the past. And maybe that's why they're trying to right their wrongs and go hard with Black Lives Matter, regardless if they're tearing down and burning things down. It's like, it doesn't matter. Stealing is good. Burning things down is great. Let's cover that. But people that are out here protesting for other things, for them to gain their jobs back and things like that, it's like no coverage. It's silent. So yeah, that's what I feel. That is something that I think a lot of people don't realize, and it feels like they just feel like they need the government in order to govern them or rule them, to tell them what to do, to lead them into the right direction. Oh, I see people on Twitter, I don't know if they're bots or not, but a lot of them are like, yes, make the mandates and things like that. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, these can't be real people, because why are you begging to be governed? Like, yeah, we got the 2 shots, but once you get the 2 shots, then now it's the boosters, and then they're saying that can wane over time. So at what point do you get tired of getting shots? At what point do you say, okay, I don't want to have to do this every 6 months. I don't want to continue to do this. I don't want to renew my health passport or whatever, because that's the next thing that's in the works. I want to fly without having to take a COVID test or whatever, I mean, I don't mind doing the test to go on the plane. That makes sense. But all the other stuff, it's just, I don't know. I just feel like it's just a lot. And when, like I said, when do we draw the line? Like, when does it get the difference between, what's the difference between the Nazis and what they had to deal with, that whole situation, versus us having to show papers, or versus an immigrant having to show papers? You know what I'm saying? Like, now we're getting groups into the same boxes as all those other situations. But I don't think that people are really thinking logically, because they're sold under the guise that it's saying, well, we have to get back to normal. We have to get... And I think that that's what everybody's so... I'm starting to get hot, yeah. So I'm about to finish this, but I feel like that's what people are really, like, focused on. Is like, we have to get back to normal. Like, if we don't do this, how can we get back to normal? This is the only thing that's going to get us back to a normalcy. And that's the problem. I feel like this, at this point, is going to be something just like the flu, where you're just going to have to protect yourself. Maybe, mask up if you want to mask up, or whatever, or keep your distance, but we have to kind of get through this, but I feel like, because this is the only solution that has been brought to the table, that's why people are so willing to go ahead and give up everything in order to appease this administration and stuff like that. So, I don't know. And, Malcolm X, the great late Malcolm X, did say years ago, the Negro, the biggest enemy of the Negro, aka black folks, is the liberal. Because they pretend, and I'm paraphrasing, they pretend to be on your side. They pretend to do everything that you need, and they're actually a wolf in sheep's clothing. So they're actually the biggest threat to you, but you just don't realize it. Like, right now, they're also trying to, in these bills that they're doing, the $3.5 trillion bill, as well as the infrastructure bill, one of them has where they're allowing them to look into your bank accounts. But yet they said tax the rich, but they want to look into everyone's bank accounts if you have $600 or more. So that means all your little Venmo them, all your little PayPals, your Cash App, all of them things is going to be getting looked into. So if you ever got money for doing hair, if you ever got money for, helping somebody with their lawn or whatever, and, you fix somebody's car, they paid you through those things, you about to get looked at real quick. So those things. Also, there's another thing in there where it says a mileage tax. So at the end of the year, you're going to have to pay a mileage tax, especially if, like, let's say you drive from New York to Connecticut, or you have a job in a different state. Imagine how much you're going to have to pay. You're just barely making ends meet, and now you're going to have to pay a mileage tax. There are little things in there. It was other stuff, but I didn't write everything down. But everybody needs to really wake up and really look into these things, because they're making all these little decisions, and a lot of us don't know, because either we don't care or we're just not really looking into all that stuff. But it's a lot going on, you guys. It's a lot. And it's going to affect us at the end of the day, whether we want to believe it or not, if we want to take a stand or not. There's a lot of things that are definitely going to affect us as a human race. And I do feel like the New World Order is coming. The things are just changing so much. They're even trying to do a paperless, a cashless system, where they're pretty much only doing everything through, electronic means. They're trying to eliminate. I actually saw, was it Maxine something? She's one of the Congress members. She was talking about that. I was listening to that last night, but I fell asleep. But she was pretty much saying that she doesn't want this to occur, because she was like, people that are elderly, as well as people that, you pay with cash is still of value. Cash is still something that we want to use, And I think that we did kind of see a little bit of this last year. Well, I saw it, where some companies were saying they can't give change, like just try to have the exact change, because they can't give change because there was a coins shortage or something like that. It's crazy. I don't know, y'all, but I'm gonna just leave it right there. Y'all let me know. Nothing crazy. I don't care if y'all oppose what I'm saying. That's perfectly fine, but just don't come at me crazy, because you will get blocked and deleted. But that's just it. I'll see y'all. Vlog for future me. Maybe I'll keep this going. We'll have a little segment. Maybe I'll just not. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. Latest.